Hey folks, it's Mark with Fireman Outdoors. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, I've got the Zastava M92 AK pistol with the SB47 stabilizing brace right here, and we're going to be adding something really cool to it. Stay tuned. Well, here's the M92, and what we're going to be doing today, folks, is detailed in these instructions. We are putting on the new railed handguard from Midwest Industries. It's made specifically for the Zastava PAP pistols. I've had great experience with Midwest Industries. Their customer service is stellar. They've always been great to me. Even if I wasn't the original purchaser of a handguard, they've shipped me parts that I'd stripped out or something, so they're great to deal with. So enough talking, let's do it. So I'm just going to follow the directions that were shipped with this. So number one, please make sure your firearm is unloaded and pointed in a safe direction. We got the chamber open, and I've verified that there are no rounds in there, no magazine. It is empty. Step number two is repeat number one. And this is a good protocol. You never want to work on a loaded firearm. You'll shoot yourself or your family, and that would suck. So we verified that this is empty, and we are ready to start working on it. Using our rifle's provided manual, field strip our rifle. So I don't have a rifle here, just ask the ATF. What I do have is a pistol, so we're going to go ahead and field strip that. We are empty. I drop the bolt. And take out the spring. Set that over here. And take out the bolt carrier, and the piston and the bolt. This will be a good time to clean that. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. And then we've got to get this pin over here. Now you got to extract that pin while the hinge is open. And remember, folks, we're dealing with a unit that was made by the people that brought us the Yugo. So the fit and finish is pretty rough. The tolerances are really loose. What I've done here is I took a punch and wrapped the end of it with tape to give it a little bit of cushion. And a little tap right here will release that pin that holds the gas tube on. And then over here we have a lever, and that has to go the same way, and it is very tough. Once again, our fit and finish is loose and crude. You can turn that with some pliers, or just do like I'm doing here and tap that around. It's got to come all the way around. I've got a Leatherman, I can help. And that's pretty tough to get that off of there. And that allows this piece here to slide back and forth so you can get the wood out. And we've got the wood, the little metal piece came out with it. I'm not sure if we keep that or not. We'll review the instructions and see. Our next step, remove the provided components from the box and become familiar with them. Well, let's see what we got here, folks. Obviously I haven't installed this before. This is just as it came shipped from Midwest Industries. Got a little bit of protective oil on it, and my initial impressions are that this is much more finely machined than the weapon it's going to go on. Alright folks, I've set up a couple of different things so that we can install this handguard. I know that I'm going to want to level the handguard to the rifle, and so how I'm going to do that is I just put this I-beam up here. This is a big chunk of heavy loose tolerance pig iron, just like the rifle, and I'm not worried about scratches or dents. and I have a little line level that I stuck up here, and so I'm just going to level across, and I've set this up so my receiver is level, this block is level, so when I get to the handguard alignment part, I've got a reference. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the handguard on. Now you'll notice that there are T marks, and it's got R, B, and L. Guess what, folks? Those stand for right, bottom, and left. So you're gonna, and that's the orientation of the rifle from the shooter's position. So the right side would be the if it was a car, it's passenger side, obviously. And we're going to put that up in here. One other thing I've done is I've replaced this and I've tightened it up. And I put a little dab of the supplied Loctite on these screws, and then I pre-placed them in the block so they all just kind of fall into position. And then we grabbed the largest Allen wrench that was supplied with the kit, which is this one here, and we're going to put those all in. We're not going to tighten them yet, folks. We're going to do that when it gets time to leveling it. But we're going to start them all first, and then make them all hand tight. So I put these all in finger tight, and now the next step is to put on the gas tube. Now I've removed the wood from the gas tube, and I did that by taking the square edge of the rear of the gas tube, holding it in a 12-inch crescent, and then just rotating the wood. It has a round surface, and you can just rotate it out the bottom where the gap is and then pull it out. Now the next step is going to be to install the gas tube. But before we install the gas tube, I want to get a rough alignment on here. So I'm going to verify that I'm still level here at the receiver, and I am. Alright. Now we're going to put the gas tube on. Remember, we have to open the hinge cover, and then put the gas tube on there. Don't catch it on the night sight on the front, and drop that into position, and it's cammed in. So now it says set the upper rail on the lower rail and check parts for alignment. This can be done by looking down the sights and seeing how the sight radius looks in relation to the front sight. Now, if you've got a canted sight like mine, you don't want to refer off of the sight because it's crooked. I've got to go off of the sight axis that I use, and according to the sight axis, it's not aligned with the sight block, but it is aligned with the gap in my sights and where the front sight is. Tighten the handguard clamp, it says, and we're going to recheck it several times for alignment. Alright, now I've got that tightened and the gas tube is installed. Now it says set the upper rail onto the lower rail. We're going to check that for alignment. Now that looks tight. Let's compare level on the receiver. So I'm just touching the line on that side. I shifted a little bit. I'm going to go across the top, and I'm just touching the line. Okay, so this is now level. I like it. Apply thread lock to the provided set screws and install in handguard clamp. It's under here, folks. And we can see right here. So that is the smallest Allen We're going to put a drip of the Loctite. And we're going to put this in here just in case it works loose. This will keep it from rotating. I figured that because they called it anti-rotational screws. I'm smart that way. And the directions say to finger tighten till they just touch the gas tube. So we're not putting a bunch of crank on these, folks. We're just making them touch. There we go. And now we put this part on. My favorite part. That means it's the last step. So we pre-align the handguards, install the upper rail. It makes no mention of the Loctite, but since we have it, I'm going to use it. Alright folks, there we have it. We'll get a little bit of a better close-up on this, and you can see how you like it. I certainly like the looks of it. It's very attractive. So there we have it, folks. The Midwest Industries rail mounted on the Zastava. I really like the aesthetics of it. So here we have the Midwest Industries handguard on the Zastava Pop M92, Pop, PAP, however you want to say it. You know, I really like it. It doesn't add really any weight over the wood. Has the added option of the rails on the side, which I have a love-hate relationship with. I don't like, obviously, the feel of rails on my bare, poor, tender hands. So I've installed these rail covers. And I went fashionable with the FDE, mainly because I couldn't find my black ones. And I kind of like how it adds a contrasting look to it since we're accessorizing our Barbies. Also added the Magpul AFG2. I really like that. That's the natural angle that my hand wants to be at. So that's a bonus of the rail. You know, I was going to install that Trijicon RMR optic on here. And I did put it on top of this handguard, and I found that I had the same problem that I have with this primary arms, is that I have to lift my face up off, and I lose my cheek weld, and I think my accuracy suffers significantly because of that. So I poked around for a lot of different options, maybe thinking of getting a different optic that was lower. I mounted a Fastfire 2 to this, and I kind of like that. But that didn't allow any of you to use the sights because of the base of the Fastfire interfered with that. But I did find that Midwest Industries also has a different top rail that drops down lower, and I can mount this primary arms or an Aimpoint Micro right to it and down low where you can actually see and co-witness the irons through that. So I've ordered that, and I'll cover that on a later video. But all in all, I'm really happy with the Midwest Industries handguard. You know, it wasn't inexpensive. It was 115 bucks. That's a lot cheaper than you can find a lot of, say, AR handguards. And I think it was a good value at $115. Well machined, went together easy. The instructions were a little bit obtuse, but I hope that the video that we made helps you with that. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for when we put the new handguard on and I lower this down so that it can co-witness, and I think that this will make a great package for close quarters defense. Once again, thanks for watching, and click the like button and make sure you subscribe to us. We appreciate it.
I have an interference problem. See that? See that where it says R? See that? T marks, that means that needs to go on the right side.